I think it's safe to say that across the board, whether it's live launching or an evergreen funnel, online business owners are seeing a pretty big dip in their conversion rate. So today I want to talk about what you can do to optimize your funnel and actually increase your conversion rates and revenue in 2023. Welcome back. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Brittany McBean. And around here, we dive into online marketing, copywriting, messaging, and everything in between. Today, we're going to talk about specific things that you can do to start to optimize your funnel. And we're going to look at a case study that I think you're really going to connect with so that you can start to increase your revenue and make a bigger impact on your audience. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. The truth is, a lot of businesses made a lot of money online in 2020 and 2021 without doing a ton of work. And the thing is, we were all working pretty hard, like so hard that everyone's pretty burnt out now. So yes, you were working really hard, but the truth is there wasn't a ton of intentionality or strategy around that marketing and that messaging. And the same copy, the same marketing, the same messaging is not performing as well as it was in 2022 or now in 2023. I've covered this in another video. I'll make sure to link it here where you're watching this. There's a lot of reasons behind this that's really important. So pay attention to this timestamp. Come back when you're done watching this video and watch that because it's really important to know why. But today we're going to talk about what we can actually do about that. Look, you have to set realistic expectations. The reality is it is not likely that you're going to see those same results if you were launching or running an evergreen funnel in 2020 and 21 at the height of that online boom. We may not be back there anytime soon, and that's okay, but that doesn't mean that you cannot have incredible marketing and excellent messaging and unbelievable amount of money coming in the door. But we do have to reset expectations and a new benchmark for what our conversion rates should look like. As a launch and funnel strategist and copywriters, we write our clients' funnel from start to finish. Our clients come to us with validated offers and successful funnels, but they're just not necessarily seeing the revenue that they wish that they were seeing, the conversion rates they know that they should be seeing, and usually their messaging and their marketing just isn't aligned in some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to walk you through the 3-step process that we take to optimize these funnels, and I want to introduce you to one of my favorite clients, Gloria. Gloria Chou is the founder of Gloria Chou PR and the PR Starter Pack, which is an unbelievable resource you're going to hear about a little bit later. When Gloria came to me, she had a successful funnel, a validated offer, and she just wasn't seeing the conversion rates she knew she should be seeing, and her marketing just felt a little out of alignment. So we went to work with our 3-step plan. Now, we were writing Gloria's Evergreen funnel, which I'll get to by the end of this, but she was able to take the Evergreen funnel that she'd invested in, repurpose it into a live launch that she did at the end of our project, and she was able to take that live launch and compare it to the live launch that she had done earlier in February 2022. And so in February in 2022, we were not really seeing the results of the economic recession. It's not really a recession, but is absolutely a recession that we are seeing at the end of 2022. So she did this live launch in October 2022 when all of our other clients and business owners were already seeing the effects of this economic downturn. But her October 2022 beat the pants off of her February 2022 launch. She made $125,000 in this launch. She had a 51% increase on her sales page compared to her previous launch, and she cut her refund request rate in half compared to her previous launch, and they spent the exact same on ads. So her ROI went through the roof. Okay, so let's dive in so you can do this for yourself. Step 1, plain and simple, understand your audience. Do your research. Seth Godin says, don't find customers for your products, find products for your customers. Quite simply, do not create your marketing in a bubble. Figure out who is already there, learning from you, loving you, and make sure that your products and your marketing is made specifically for them. So that is what we did first. And that's what I suggest you do. Most funnels, most launches are basically this grab bag of marketing tricks. These marketing gurus, mentors, teachers, whatever you want to call them, at the top teach you all of these strategies, basically gimmicks that you can pick and plug and play that are meant to functionally override critical thinking in your reader's mind and cause them to make a buying decision out of stress. That is the point of these marketing tricks. And while that is going to work on some people, it's also going to minimize your conversions. You're not going to see as much as you could see if you focused on the right messaging for the people who are already in front of you, but it's also going to increase your refund rates and decrease student success because you're not going to have the right people in front of you. All right, so my client Gloria, her mission is to help bootstrap founders gain credibility, authority, and visibility through organic media coverage. She's helped her clients gain over 1 billion views in publications like the New York Times, Forbes, Pop Sugar. You may have heard of them. Like I said, when she came to us, she had a validated offer, a funnel that had made her money, and raving students. But she was not happy with the conversion rates, and quite frankly, she did not feel like her marketing was saying what she wanted it to say. It was not representing her or her audience. So we started where we start with any client project. We have an obnoxiously in-depth research process. It's 3-pronged. We start with a very detailed, very strategic, targeted survey sent to our client's audience. We have a data mining process that would rival any teenager internet stalking her high school crush. And we do one-on-one interviews with both our clients' buyers and non-buyers. And in doing this, we begin to see a huge disconnect in the marketing that is out there and the marketing that our people really need to see. We realized that her existing marketing was under the assumption that these people already wanted to get featured and were actively trying and failing. Quite frankly, it was assuming that they were solution and product aware. If you don't know what the 5 stages of awareness are, I also have a video on that. We'll make sure that that is linked, but that is a really helpful place to start if you're not really sure where to start your marketing. But her people were not solution and product aware. When diving in and analyzing the research, we realized a couple really important things. Her audience was primarily made up of BIPOC women founders. In fact, more specifically, 75% of her audience was primarily made up of Black women founders, small business owners, and entrepreneurs. That specifically applied to her buyers, but also her non-buyers that were on her list. Her people also did not understand that PR was the solution to their lead gen and revenue problem. They did think that paid ads or endless content creation was the solution, however. And we found out that they do have small budgets. They're very discerning, and social media seemed to be the freest and lowest cost and lowest risk option. And they had an assumption that PR required a big budget and the hiring or somehow expense of a third-party firm or somebody else to do this for them, or paying for opportunities to be featured. So your takeaway is that there may be a really big disconnect between what you are saying and where your audience actually is in their head. Your marketing must start with where they are in their head, not where you think they are or even with what you want to say. So we knew that our messaging had to lead on a few really key truths, not gimmicks. The truths were that the industry has been whitewashed and that media has featured people that did not necessarily look like Gloria's audience. The gate had been kept by people that had access and privilege for most of their life. We also had to let them know that PR is the easiest, most effective, and highest ROI way of getting lead gen and revenue for your business, and you should not be paying for it. We also had to make sure that they knew that her product was not a DIY course that was a scrappy stepping stone, a DIY option on the way to eventually hiring a firm. We could not position it as a DIY for now Band-Aid for a eventual big budget solution. It was the stopgap. It was the solution that allowed them to finally take control of their lead gen, their visibility, their publicity, bring it in-house, tell their own story, right? Do you see how we took their messaging and we positioned it to empower them to do the thing that they want to do, that they thought they had to pay for, and use all these other, quite frankly, unreliable and exhausting platforms? In short, we had to hone in on who we were speaking to, and we had to create messaging that spoke to them in a powerful and impactful way to help them see the big picture and not just convince them to buy in the moment out of stress or anxiety. It was her value prop that was missing, and that's what we leaned on. So, step 1, conduct your market research, find out who your audience is, what they want and need, and adjust your messaging and your marketing accordingly. Step 2 is optimize your offer. Like I said, we had to communicate this was not a DIY, scrappy stepping stone, a for now, plug the hole Band-Aid offer. This product did represent a significant investment to this audience. So we had to show them that this was going to be a significant asset to their business. So she added a higher level of support to show them that she had their back. This was not a one and done, good luck, wham bam, thank you ma'am purchase. Earlier this year, I mentioned in a video that we're seeing a huge trend towards people wanting to buy more high-touch programs and wanting more support. People are pretty over DIY because they know it doesn't work. That's not what they want out of their offers. That's not what they want out of their mentors. So we did optimize their offer to add some more mentorship and add some more support. I'll add that video here so you can go back and watch it later. We repositioned on the sales page the training so that people did not see this as fluff, like a PDF that they could download, but actual business strategy that would allow them to do something more powerful with what they already had in their business. We also put a heavy focus on this piece of software that she has in there with a proprietary list of journalists and media contacts that you cannot get anywhere else. It was all about positioning. We found the thing based on the research that people needed, wanted, and used the most, the thing that they were most excited about, the things that when they bought, they went straight into the first thing they clicked on, and then we sold that on the sales page. So step 2, optimize your offer. And last but not least, and definitely not the easiest, number 3, optimize your funnel. Sometimes this is some of the lowest hanging fruit, but the things that we resist the most, because this requires us to take a leap of faith and trust that all of that stuff that we learned that actually got us where we are, that everyone at the top taught us, may actually not be the thing serving us, may not be what is right for us and our audience. It might be time to change. This is where you let your message do the heavy lifting and you stop relying on the tricks and the gimmicks. So this means stripping back the marketing tricks and trusting that your audience is intelligent enough, they're aware enough, and they are just smart enough. They have enough autonomy to make a good decision for themselves. You have to trust your audience. So the first thing that I recommended for Gloria, I recommend this for all of my clients if they have a webinar. If you are using a webinar to sell an offer, within the first 3 minutes of your webinar, let your viewers know, I am pitching you an offer and this is how much it costs. Your people are not stupid, but we are all full of anxiety. We're just anxiety with water walking around. That is all we are, right? So we know a pitch is coming. We're just sitting here wondering, what is the catch and how much does it cost me? So if in the first 3 minutes, you can just say, hey, I know you know how this works. You showed up to learn blank and I'm gonna teach you that. But I also can't teach you everything in 45 minutes. So at the end of this, I am gonna share this with you. And just so you're not sitting here wondering how much it costs this much, okay? And it's fine if you're not interested in that. You showed up to learn this and I'm gonna teach you this. So knowing that, do I have your permission to continue? That's all you have to do. And then everyone just goes, okay, I can breathe and I'm just here to learn. And they have respect for you because you respected them. So that's what she did. And guess what? Her chat blew up. People flipped the fuck out because finally someone respected that they were a smart human being who's been on 50,000 webinars and knows exactly how this works. People loved it. And I hear this from every single client who does make this change. Their people love it. So try it. She also went ahead and eliminated the value stack. The value stack is where you assign absolutely arbitrary prices to things that do not cost that much because they are not sold that much, and you just put an inflated price on it so that you can say, this program is actually worth this many tens of thousands of dollars, but oh my gosh, lucky you, you're getting it for only $1,500 or only this many dollars, right? If you assign made up prices to something, then we think that you just made everything else up. If you do not sell something for a certain amount, or you cannot prove that something costs this amount, do not make up a price for it. So Gloria eliminated the value stack, but instead she said, hey, a piece of software like this, or taking the time to find all of these contacts would cost you something like X, or would cost you this many hours. So she's letting them know the value of what she offers without saying, this program costs $90,000, but you're getting it for $1,500, because nobody believes that. And guess what? People said, yeah, thank you so much, because it's a huge eye roll when people tell me it's worth this huge inflated price. People acknowledge this. They told her, thank you so much for just being honest with me. How good does that feel when people tell you that? The other thing is we stopped trying to convince people that this is as good as we say it is. We leaned on the messaging. We leaned on her values. We told them who Gloria was, what her mission was, what she wanted to do. We told them what the product is, why it's so good, why it's so helpful, and then we let the social proof do the talking. She has testimonials and case studies out the butt. So we just said, you know what? This is all the information you need to make a decision. And you know what? We are the ones asking for the credit card. So if you don't trust us, that's okay. But why don't you listen to your peers? We leaned on so much social proof in her funnel so that they didn't have to trust us and we didn't have to convince them. We gave them the information they needed through the lens that they needed to see it and the message and the values. And then we let the social proof do the talking. And for the messaging, we focus on that problem awareness at the top of the funnel, not assuming that they were already using PR, not assuming that they already knew that this was the solution and that they were frustrated with trying to do it. We focused that they were frustrated with not having lead gen and not getting the revenue that they needed, introduced PR as the solution in the middle of the funnel, and then led them to the product at the bottom of the funnel. And then we also introduced an abandoned cart email that actually had a 63% open rate and attributed to quite a few $1,000s in sales at the end of her live launch. So for her live launch, she did $25,000 more in October 2022 after the economy tanked than she did when the economy was thriving in February 2022. Her ads manager said she was the first and only client after the recession to actually increase her numbers, both conversion and revenue in their launch. The only client. She cut her refund rates in half. She increased her sales page conversion rates by 51%. And she also felt good about her launch. She was able to step away from her computer, step away from the pressure she was putting on her team, and she felt really, really good about the launch that she was doing. But not only that, remember, we were hired to not write the launch copy. That was all her repurposing the copy we wrote for Evergreen. So how did the Evergreen funnel perform? Well, Evergreen usually performs a little bit lower than live launch because you don't have that live launch energy. You're converting cold traffic, so you would expect the numbers to be a little bit lower, right? No, actually her sales page is converting like 3 times higher than her live launch on Evergreen. So at a price point of $1,500, we would expect an Evergreen funnel from cold traffic to convert around 1 to 3% is average. I think that bar is kind of low, but that also is still something I'd be happy with. I always want to see higher than that. But over the last 4 months, her sales page in an Evergreen cold traffic funnel has converted on average 12%. 12%. Her live launch was 5%. You want to see between 2 to 5% in a live launch. I feel great about that. 12% on average. The highest was 18%. I'm sorry, what? And lead to sale conversion, I'm looking at 1 to 3% across the board for an absolute, we have nailed it, successful funnel for an Evergreen funnel. Average is 2.2% and her highest was 3.3%. That means the number of leads that came in at the total top of funnel that signed up to watch the webinar compared to the number of people that purchased from this cold traffic Evergreen funnel, 3.3% of people converted. So that means that right now, while a lot of business owners are struggling, and to an audience that has a lower budget, that is struggling with their visibility and their PR and not knowing where to make their investment in the middle of an economic downturn, my client with a $1,500 investment to an audience with a lower budget and very discerning eyes is converting at 3.3% through understanding her audience, doing the market research, and optimizing the messaging, optimizing the offer, and optimizing the funnel. So you can take these specific examples in this case study and look at your funnel under the same microscope. Hopefully you can see some of those same results. And if you just don't have that time, or you know that an expert would just be a better fit for you, feel free to reach out at brittanyMcBean.com/contact, and I'd be happy to start looking at your funnel and seeing what we can do for you. And I've mentioned that trust is low in these programs and that people are really looking to choose the right mentor and that these more like experiential open house style launches are the way to go. If you're a copywriter and you are looking for a mentor, I am doing my own open house in May 2023. If you're watching this after, I'm sorry. But if you are interested in building a premium copywriting business and you're looking for a mentor to work with, feel free to jump into our open house. And if you just want to learn more about it, go to brittanyMcBean.com/open house to learn more about the program that I teach, where I help mentor copywriters to build their own premium copywriting business. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.